Hey, David in San Antonio, Texas. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and you asked if I could cut a silhouette lens for you, or lenses for a brand new silhouette frame, even though it was not on my website. I said yes, I can. So I'm going to cut lenses for your silhouette. This is model number, or as I say, chassis 5369. I'll be cutting shape 5343, which I'll show you in a little bit. This is color 6059. You have a 19 bridge and 145 temples. Let me show you everything. Of course, this is your silhouette cleaning cloth. This is your silhouette case with a magnetic flap. And this is your silhouette frame and how it comes to me from the manufacturer. It comes in 3 pieces. It's held together with this little thing, of course, a little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. A little booklet explaining how your frame is made in multiple languages. And of course some of the sleeves that hold your lenses in there, of which I've already got a container full of, so I always work from these out of habit, but I will empty this down into here when I'm done. So let's actually go ahead and begin. I'm going to wake the computer up here. It's something you don't see in every video. Let me go back to the home screen and show you what I have to do from the very beginning. Let's start from scratch. Okay, I'm going to go to job management. This is how Silhouette stores its shape into the database. I'm going to start with a new job. I'm going to use the magnifying glass to go to the frames library, and now I'm going to type in here the shape that you want, which is shape 5343. So let me type that in, 5343. Hit enter. And why is it not coming up? Don't stump me. Hang on, let's try this again. What am I not doing right? Did I miss something? 5343. Oh, you're pulling up blank. You're pulling up blank, are you? Okay, well, I've got your pattern here that came with it. I tossed in there the 5393. So let's try something new here. Let's go ahead. Here's something else again you haven't seen before. We are going to trace a shape using the camera. It's going to tell me to remove everything from this platform, the thing that usually holds the lens in place, so I will do that. I'm going to take this pattern, which is the shape of your lens, I'm going to put it on that platform, and I'm going to take a picture of it. The bridge size is 19. Let me enter that. And in just a moment, it's going to take a picture of that pattern and pull it up onto the screen. When the computer is good and ready, that is. This whole video should take about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. It's a little bit longer than all my other videos. I do thank you for your patience, but you get to watch something new in this one. Let me hit the green button and see if it pulls it up. It did it sideways. Let's try this again. We are going to take a picture of this. Why is it being so stubborn? Why is it being so stubborn? Well, let's take a new picture. You know, it never wants to do it on make you proud when they want you to. Program everything, remove everything from the platform. Let me see if everything needs to be cleaned. There we go. See if that is it. It is a 19 bridge. And whoops, maybe I was supposed to put that there before then. I may have to do this again. I apologize for the delay. Let's see if it didn't like that one either. Let's see the picture. Let's see the picture. Gracious. Goodness gracious. Okay, one more time. This time I'm going to keep my hand out of the way. Let's take a picture using the pattern. It's going to tell me to clear the platform. That is good. It's going to tell me to put the lens where it's supposed to. Now we'll hit the check mark and 19. I think I had moved things when I was taking a picture before. There we go. There we go. I don't know why it was so stubborn. So that's going to be the shape. Now I actually have to put the holes into the lens where this is known as a drill mount, where these 2 holes are going to go, these shafts. So let's actually put in your pupillary distance first, which is 31.5 for your left eye, 31.5, and it's going to be 32 for the right, so that is good. I'm going to go to the drill library. Go up to my database, find one that I've already done before that has the holes in there, send it on down to the queue, and now your shape is there with the holes. It is the shape. Look, I'm falling to pieces here. I'm falling to pieces. It is the shape that we have done, but now with 2 drill holes on each side. So that is done. Your pupillary distance has been entered, so I need to prep your lenses at this point. So let me go down to my trusty Marco 101 lensometer, and you are the same in both eyes. You are plus 1 1/4 minus 150 at 180 in the right eye, plus 1 1/4 minus 150 at 175 in your left. So you're the same in both eyes. It doesn't matter which one I start with, but I'm gonna have to, well, got to turn that on. I got to start with that. I'm going to turn the axis wheel to 0, which is the same as 180. Put your lens into my lensometer. Put the power drum on plus 150. In fact, I'm going to need my flashlight here in a moment. We'll get that ready. Let's see. Put it at 180. Rotate it and put 3 dots on the lenses, and let's mark this one the right lens. Do the same thing now with the left lens. It is plus 1 1/4 minus 150 at 175. We're at 1 1/4. And turn the axis wheel to 175. Put that in. Put 3 dots on your lenses, and we're going to mark this one the left lens. Let's go back down here. Let's take everything and get your lens ready to block on the platform now that all technical difficulties are behind us. So this is a block, as I like to call Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker to do that, of which I have got many hanging from the ceiling at this point. I've moved everything around, so I've taken one of the double-sided adhesive stickers, applied it to the block. I'm going to go ahead and peel the paper away to show you the 3M sticky side. The silver button on the back is a magnet. I'm going to put that there. That's what's going to hold it in place. I'm going to move your lens. The reason why I put these 3 dots on there is it has to be oriented in there just right. So I'm going to put that there. That dot is going to go at the optical center, and the other 2 dots are going to line up and give me the meridian that I need. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto your right lens. I don't need that anymore. Let's go ahead and make this side sticky. Put that in there. Find your left lens that I put on the counter. Using those 3 dots, that center one is your optical center, so that's going to go in the center of the lens. The other 2 dots are going to give me a 180 meridian to make sure that everything is lined up perfectly. Hit the button. The arm is now going to place the block onto the left lens. The reason why I grabbed that flashlight is to show you that the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right hand side of the machine. That's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. And then behind this arm is going to come out into place, but behind there is in fact, let's move it so you can see the drill bit before we start. I will show you the drill bit. That door is going to close. Things are going to move out. And this is what usually comes into play. This is going to put the safety bevel on the lens. This blade would cut a groove or a notch into the semi-rimless frames, but that drill bit is what's going to put the drill bit, cut the drill holes, the 8 drill holes that you're going to have in your lenses. So let me move back. That's going to go there. Open back up, and I'm going to use the magnet to hold it in place in the chuck, or if you've seen my other videos, you know I like to call that the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to wake the computer up. That is the shape of your lens with your 4 drill holes in each lens. I am going to polish the lenses in this one. I'm going to put a light bevel on the front surface of the lens and a heavier bevel on the back. These are polycarbonate lenses. If it was another material, I can enter that now. But I'm going to hit start. The door is going to close. The clamp is going to shut. And then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses that are going to make sure this lens is large enough to fit into the frame. It's also going to give me the shape of your final lens. It does it twice, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to cut on the lens. Doing a couple other measurements just to make sure the lens is thick enough for the drill holes. That's why it keeps touching. Now, the cutting wheel is starting up. And in just a moment, your lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. This is a nice edger. It is made by Essilor brand. It is the Nexia model number, made by Essilor, one of the famous lens companies. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy one, and then they can cut lenses at home. You won't need me anymore. If you notice, there is water running in the background. That flickering of light is water. It's there just to collect the optical sawdust that comes off the cutting wheel onto the back surface of the edger. Now your lenses are made out of polycarb. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is also virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you need to reapply every couple hours at the beach, this is permanent and will never need to be reapplied. Again, it is measuring the thickness of the frame to know exactly where to place the drill holes. Now the other nice thing about your lenses is you have the anti-glare coating. The AR stands for anti-reflective, which is actually 3 surfaces and 3 features in one. But let me back up. You see this word aspheric? Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction like a basketball. Gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. An aspheric lens is much flatter, so not only do you have the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable lenses, but the front curvature is much flatter than other lenses out there, giving you a much better cosmetic finished appearance, especially for such a high-end frame such as Silhouette. And of course, let me go ahead and finish taking this apart, because I'll need to start putting this together in just a moment. But these are the 3 pieces to your Silhouette, the 1 bridge and the 2 temples. Of course, you have a traditional hinge. There's also the memory metal Silhouettes. Now water has kicked in for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. It does that to wash away any optical debris. And of course, it is now on the polishing wheel, which you don't see in my other videos. That is the wheel to the far left. Your lens is the edges are being polished. I like to do that on all the drill mount frames. It gives it a really nice, classy, finished look. Now, we'll get back to what the AR stands for in your lenses. The AR, which goes by a couple different names, is the anti-glare coating. It's also the AR anti-reflective coating. It's 3 features in one. The first feature that everyone benefits from is it eliminates glare, especially glare driving at night, especially driving at night in the rain. But it also eliminates glare from street lights, stoplights, computer screens. That's right, I'm talking about your computer screen, overhead, fluorescent lights, that kind of thing. The second feature is that it has an anti-reflective attribute, so when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. That makes for much better eye contact. So also, if you take a selfie or if someone takes a picture of you with a flash, you don't see the flash lit up in your lens like you do on this lens that does not have the anti-glare coating. Then the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is that it comes with the best scratch coating in the business. The machine that is used to apply the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It takes 24 hours to apply 7 different coatings. They vaporize 7 different coatings onto the lens to eliminate the reflections and the glare. And that is why they give you the most premium anti-scratch coating possible to protect the time and the investment. Now, as you see, the drill is coming into play. It is going to turn in opposite direction and is now going to start to begin to drill holes, starting at the nasal side of the lens before moving over and doing the temporal side of the lens. But that little drill bit is spinning very fast and is cutting the very first drill hole into your lens. You can see how it's come through. But after it does that, if you see it jiggle just a little bit, it goes through and then reams it out to give me 1.4 millimeters of thickness. The drill bit itself is 1 millimeter in diameter, but I need a 1.4 millimeter diameter hole for this shaft to go into. So it drills a hole and then kind of reams it out as it wiggles around. Can you see the little wiggle there? Very precise technology. It rotates, and now it's going to put the outermost hole on the temporal side. This is what the bridge is going to go into now, this outer one, before doing the inner one. I'm sorry. That is the outer hole. The one closest to my finger is now the inner hole. So 3 of the 4 have been done and is now starting on the 4th hole. Of course, the Silhouette frame with one set of prescription single vision lenses sells for $269. You paid the extra $40 to get the anti-glare coating. So your total combined price is $309. But that's right, you're seeing this true. All Silhouette frames with one pair of single vision lenses sells for $269. Go out and price that in your hometown. That is why he emailed me to see if I could do this frame. I have not done this before, but my wonderful edger is capable of doing this. I'm just drying the lens off, and we now have your lens with 4 drill holes, 2 on that side, 2 on this side. So let's go ahead and start on your left lens. I'm going to put that into the chuck, flip that over to L, and hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to move into place, and it's going to be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure the lens is large enough to fit the pattern of the frame, and as it goes around tracing, and of course measuring the thickness of the lens at every point, which it would normally do to figure out where to place the bevel to go into a metal, a semi-rimless, or a plastic frame. Again, it's touching where the drill holes are going, just to make sure there's enough thickness of lens there. Once the machine and the computer are satisfied, the cutting wheel starts up. I was going to drop down on the cutting wheel, and once your left lens begins cutting, I'm going to continue to work on your right lens. So, this block is no longer needed. I am going to remove it. I'm going to remove that sticker as well. Dry your lens off. And try not to cover up that red dot, which is very hard to see. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm sure I'm going to wipe it off again as I keep working, but if so, I can put them back on with the lensometer. Use my thumbnail to clean away any optical debris that can be left over. And can you see the polished edge? Here's the lens with a satin polish, and now yours in my right hand has a polished edge versus the satin polish, which is not polished. So it's going to look very good mounted into your frame. Usually you wouldn't see that anyway. That's why I don't polish them. So let me get the first of the 4 sleeves out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put one through each hole, getting them lined up there. Push that through, so we now have those 2 shafts coming through the lens. I need to trim that off at surface level. We used to do that. I used to put these blue stickers on the lens and line it up so there was no scratches, and then cut it with these snips. But now Silhouette has come out with something that looks like a friend of mine's cigar cutter that has 2 holes on there and a very sharp blade. And I put that onto the 2 holes inside there and snip. They are gone. Congratulations, Miss Silverman, it's a boy. Put the 2 in there, snip, it is gone. Mazel tov. Now let's eat. No, sorry. Do you get that joke in San Antonio? Okay. So, the 2 sleeves, they're actually compression fittings. And let me back up here. Silhouette is pretty high tech. These were to help design through NASA. The Silhouette is the only brand of glasses allowed into space. 1, there's only 1.5 grams. 2, there's no screws to ever come loose from any of their glasses. And no adjustments are needed when in 0 gravity. They came up with these compression fittings to eliminate the need for screws, but when I snip down on them, I compress them just a little bit, so I'm going to use a thumbtack to open them up just ever so slightly back to their original size, which makes it easier for me to mount the 2 posts. And I always like to start with the bridge, so let me go over white background. Each side of your bridge has 2 posts on it. That first post is going to go into that hole. I'm going to push it in there where it gets started and it stays on its own. And then, come on, where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. There's your hiding. There's your hiding. Here's my tool for crimping them. Now, if you can notice, there's a little wobbling end on here. That is due to your edge thickness and diameter and surface and curvature of your lens. So I'm going to place the blue side on the back of the lens and start to press down and squeeze. And the first compression fitting is now put into your lens, and that would rock depending on the curvature of the lens. So had I had two lenses, I would have gone ahead and started with the bridge, but since your left lens is cutting, let's go ahead. Nope, that's not the right one. That's not going to work. This is the right temple. So I'm going to take those two shafts and put them into this hole here. Push down to get them started. Now I'm going to come back and squeeze. I'm going to put the blue side on the back surface, which is the concave surface of your lens, and onto the convex front surface I am going to squeeze down, and that rocking motion is going to follow the contour of your lens, and now half of your silhouette frame is now put together. I will wait for the left lens to come out, then I will put that together. Where are we in the process? So we have water running onto the lens, which only happens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical debris. Polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index cut wet. So we're back to the drilling process. So the drill has come out. It's going to turn around and it's going to start to drill the first of the 4 holes into your left lens, starting at the nasal area and applying 2 holes before moving over and doing the temporal edge of your lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Although I have an app on my phone where I get to learn 1 Spanish word per day. I'm sure there's other languages that can do that, but I've just picked the Spanish translator. So I can learn how to say uno más margarita por favor and sound not like an American tourist when I say it. And if you get tired, there's a nap for that. Sorry, a kid told me that joke the other day. I thought it was funny. Go home, sleep about it, think about it, see if you get it. If you're tired, there's a nap for that. Alright, I've tried to tell it to one person, they didn't get it. Maybe they just didn't think it was funny. I still have the humor of a 5-year-old, so I'm going to laugh about those things. That's right, I take my work very seriously, just not myself. But I am a licensed optician in a licensed state, which is North Carolina. I have to get 8 hours of continuing education every year to keep my professional license. So I can joke around, because when you're professional and you know what you're doing, you can have fun with it. If you don't know what you're doing, you have to act very professional. Alright, so the last of the 4 holes are drawn. It's rotating. The water's going to stop spraying, and out comes your lens. Where's my paper towel? You know, this was a brand new paper towel at one point. Look, it looks like a monster, doesn't it? Ooh, the 2 eyes and the mouth. Oh wait, that's right, I'm supposed to be professional. Okay, let me take your left lens out. Let me dry it off, starting with the temporal side of the lens before cleaning the nasal side. There, does that sound professional? Look at that, look at that. A little optical sawdust there. Can you see that? That is called Schwarf. I would say may the Schwarf be with you, but it's not, all you Mel Brooks baseball fans, but I'm going to clean it off of your lens. In fact, let me take this block off. I'm going to knock your block off. Actually, it's my block. You didn't pay for that. Look, I dropped it on the floor, and I'm going to leave it there because I like having a messy floor. That way, if anyone comes over, it makes it look like I've been working. I can fool people that way. Alright, I'm going to run my fingernail around the edge just to clean off any of the Schwarf, the optical sawdust. And then somewhere, there are 2 last remaining sleeves that I'm going to push into that side of the lens. Oops, it's fighting me. It's fighting me. Come on, get in there, get in there. What am I not doing? What am I not doing? Let me hold everything steady. Get in there. Oop. There we go, there we go. I've got the magic touch. Ooh, after about 3 tries. Now see, that one went in well. Where's my little circumcision tool? There it is. Put that in there, snip. See, you girls don't have to go through that. Of course, every guy cringes when we go through those, and I had to witness one, and yeah, every guy in the room crossed their legs like this when it happened. And I was one of them, I ain't gonna lie. Whew, that's a tough thing to have to witness. Okay, there we go. Let me put my thumbtack back. Dun -dun, that way I know where it's at. The red one has an important job of holding that tool in place. So, let's see, let's go ahead and mount your left lens. I'm going to take it, and these two holes are going to be mounted by those two shafts. Alright, make your own joke there. Alright, let's push that in there. Squeeze down. You see what I'm doing? I got these pliers here. I'm squeezing like that. You see what I'm doing there? There we go. That's nice and crimped. That is together. We're 3/4 of the way there. I'm going to put the last of your temples on. Push down so they're somewhat held in place on their own. This could fall apart, but I'm going to get to it very quickly, and now it won't. So hopefully you can see very closely as I squeeze, that goes down and they're compressed together. Very, very rarely do you ever need to get these tightened. Of course, I need to do that now on this one, now that I look a little closer. But that's all you need. In the future, should these ever become loose for whatever reason, just stop by a local optical shop who sells silhouettes, and it just takes one little squeeze of a pair of pliers, and that is it. So let's go ahead and inspect your lenses to make sure they are cut properly. I'm going to put the axis wheel back to 0, grab my flashlight. Your prescription reads +1 1/4, -150 at 180. I'm going to put it in over that red dot, and I'm going to measure +1 1/4, which is 1 tick mark away from 1. Check your astigmatism correction, of which you have 1.5 diopters, and we're ending up with a final power of -1/4. The reason why that happens, the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and starts at 0, which we in the business call Plano, which you living in Texas call a city. It starts at 0, which is also non-prescription. It goes up from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, 150. See, hey, you got them there. So you need 5 steps of magnification. With your glasses off, everything is way too magnified. But you need 5 steps of magnification in order to see clearly. Well, you need an additional 6 steps to clarify things. You have 6 steps, 1.5 diopters of astigmatism. This first number makes everything the correct size. Astigmatism is what makes everything blurry. Those are the two components to your prescription. One aspect makes everything the right size, one aspect takes away fuzzy edges. So you need 6 steps to take away fuzzy edges. Astigmatism is what makes 6's and 8's look alike, or the letters P and F. But when we correct for it, think of it as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that knob to 180. A straight line is 0 to 180. So if this were a knob, I'm going to turn that knob starting at 0. We're going to go past 90, and we're going to stop at 180. Your left eye is almost identical, which is extremely rare. Again, you need 5 steps of magnification for your left eye, an equal amount of astigmatism correction, which is -150, but we're going to turn it again past 90, and we're going to stop just before the 180 line at 175. Your eyes are very uniform. That is very, very rare. Now, these first numbers are to be concerned with. These are real values. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. But the reason why we ended up at 0.25, we started off at +5 on a number wheel. We went up 5 steps, but then we have to come back down 6 steps. And that's why, so if we start at 0, which we have there, we're going to read your prescription. We're going to go up to +1 1/4. But then when we check your astigmatism correction, we're going to come back down to 0 -6 steps. Oop, someone's contacting me. Let me email him back. Is that the David you're checking to see if your glasses are made? So we're at -1/4 there. I'll contact you in just a moment. But, so, remember high school algebra? You subtract 150 from a plus? You don't. So actually, let's use today's modern terms. If you had $1.25 and you owed $1.50, you would now end up with -25, and that's where you're at now, -25. I'm going to turn the axis wheel to 175 for your left eye. Let's put it in. Let's find the optical center of your lens. And I'm getting +1 1/4 there again. Whoops, I bumped it. Let me turn it to where everything's clear on the inside. +1 1/4. -150 again gives me -1/4. So we're in the red, 1/4 step. Now, I'm back to the optical centers. use that lensometer, put a red dot on there. Your pupillary distance is 31.5 in your right eye, 32 in the left, for a combined value of 63.5. So I'm going to grab my PD stick, place it against my thumb at 0, and on your right lens, I'm sorry, when I put on your left lens, we're getting 63.5, so that is made correctly. I'm also going to get your frame in standard alignment. Now, there's free shipping to San Antonio, Texas, and to anywhere else in the United States. And it's at this point in every video that I remind everyone that when you get these in the mail, there's a very small chance, and you're actually going to get not only the Silhouette cleaning cloth that comes with your case, but I'm going to include one of mine, and everyone in Texas gets an orange one. But I like to mention that when you get these in the mail, if these are a little loose or a little tight, there's a very small chance of that. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. And I'm part of that 99%. I never ask where people buy their glasses at when I adjust them. But I'm going to get yours in standard alignment, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the lenses being 3. So I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. I have one ear that is higher than the other. So when I press down on mine on the counter, they wobble. I'm going to flip them over, clean everything off first. Flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I'm going to close each temple to make sure they overlap properly, and they do. They're not askew in any way. Now, I also include cleaning instructions on not only to care for your glasses, but how to make sure that your Silhouette case and cleaning cloth will last you for years and years. No other seller does that. I also include a photo request to have your picture on the website. Clean everything off. So David, you just emailed me to ask where are my glasses, and I'm going to get them in the mail to you today. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, just the way like you did, David, to ask if I could offer you this pair of Silhouettes at a lower price than anyone else in the United States, mailed right to your door. And David in San Antonio, Texas, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses for your Silhouette chassis number. Chassis 5369, we're cutting the shape 5343. Of course, many shapes are available, many sizes are available. You went with the 52 eye size in the color 6059, which is a matte black. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see not only how we do a drill mount frame, but how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.